Hello and welcome Corner Hobbyists. My name's Kev and this is the Hobby Corner. In this episode we're going to be having a look at which ones are better. The Citadel brushes or the BrokenToad Mk3s. So stay tuned to find out more. So hello and welcome to the show, and before we get started, if you haven't already but you wish to not miss out on any more cool content like this, hit that subscribe button and the like button and make sure you leave a comment down below of what you think, and let's jump right into it. So what's this video all about? Well, I've been using Citadel brushes for nearly 25 years and I haven't really deviated from that. I've used cheap Poundland brushes. I've even borrowed and used other companies like Rosemary & Co, Winsor & Newton. And you know, the Citadel brushes have actually been made by a couple of different manufacturers over that span of years as well. So I've tried my hand at different things, but it's been a very long time since I've used anything but the Citadel brushes. So for Christmas I got some BrokenToad Mk3 Kolinsky Sable brushes. It comes with a nice little box. You get a size 2, a size 1, a size 0 and a third, and it's all the sizes that you really need. Now, in order to make this whole comparison fair, what I did was I had similar models, ones that I've painted with Citadel brushes, and then I had one painting it in the same way but using the BrokenToad brushes. I also tried to do a more direct comparison, so I got the BrokenToad brushes and I tried to find from the collection of Citadel brushes which ones paired up the best, so that I can make more of a direct comparison. So therefore I got myself a Space Marine Intercessor, and what I did was I painted one side with the Citadel and one side with the BrokenToad brushes, and that way I got a more direct comparison straight on my eye line. Well, let's just show you, eh? So to start off with, I compared the size 2 with the medium shade brush. So this was the closest comparison I could make, but already you can see the difference in how the brushes are made. The shade brush it's got a good well on it, which is, you know, the middle part that holds all the moisture, but it doesn't have that point. I do remember when I first got it, it did have a point, but it didn't hold very long. This brush also suffers from stiffness quite a lot. It doesn't matter how much you rinse it after using shades, it stiffens up. Whether or not this is because the shade has soaked into the ferrule, which is the metal part that holds the bristles together, I don't know. But anyway, it's still good though. It softens up with a bit of water and you can use it with the thing. Whilst comparing it to the size 2, I found that the size 2 had this beautiful long precise point on it, and it had a really good well on it as well, and it held a lot of shade in it, but it was very precise in its application. So after doing different textures, I did recess shading. I tried to shade larger areas on the wings and stuff, in between the muscles for like pin washing and stuff like that. I found that both brushes performed their job differently, but well, equally. So I'm going to give a point to the Citadel brush for large scale shading, because that's what it does best, and I'm going to give a point to the size 2 brush because it was perfect for shading more accurately. Moving on, I then compared the medium layer brush with the size 1. Now the size 1 is a little bit bigger, but it was the nearest comparison I had, and again you can see that that size 1 has got that beautiful long point, and the medium layer brush struggles to hold that point once you get some paint on it. So I wanted to try and make a fair comparison, so I did a bit of layering with both of them, and I tried to see what they're like on a smoother surface as well as on the more organic surfaces, and then I tried to see what it looked like to do an edge highlight as well. I found that again with the Citadel brush the point didn't hold, and because it didn't hold its point well, it meant you had to take a lot of the paint off the brush in order to have more control. This meant that you keep going back and forth from the palette more, and it can disrupt your flow when you're painting. The size 1 held the point beautifully, and I felt like I had more control with it, whether I was using the side of the bristles or the tip. And because it held more paint, it meant that I didn't have to keep going back to the palette, and I had more consistency with the paint being applied. So in this round, I'm going to give it to the BrokenToad size 1. Now we get down to the size 0 and the small layer brush. Now this one, I used the small layer brush more for edge highlighting and some details, but I wanted to just focus more on the edge highlighting sort of thing and trying to get more accurate highlights. So the size 0 seems perfect for that as well. So again, using the power armor, we tried to do a bit of edge highlighting and layering it and comparing either side. And again, I found that the size 0 had a better consistency because it had a better point, and it didn't matter if you used the tip of the bristles or the side of the bristles, you got smoother lines. The small layer brush sometimes got a bit scratchy, and because the bristles again don't hold that point as well as the BrokenToad do, or especially for long. Yeah, I'm just going to give the point to the BrokenToad brushes. Now, finally, the smallest brushes from both collections that I have is the 1/3 from BrokenToad with the extra small Artificer brush. Now, the Artificer brush is the brush that I use the most. I use it for edge highlighting more than I do for the other brushes because it's just my go-to. And I also use it for all the little details like eye lenses, eyeballs, script on the open moments or books. So I wanted to see if the 1/3 could do the same, and I'm not even going to pretend it did the same job, and it did it better. Even though I've looked after the Artificer brush the most and I've really tried to keep it in good condition, it does hold its point, but not as well as when it was brand new. So it does occasionally split. With the 1/3, I never had a problem with splitting. The bristles always held firm, whether it was too wet or too dry. As a result, I found that I had more consistency again, and I could be a lot more accurate when it came to doing the eye lenses, as you can see the comparison there. And I also used it for other things as well, like painting the Silver Templars, which you can see on my Instagram. So yes, there you go. I've given the point to BrokenToad, which means the grand total is 1 point for Citadel and 4 points for the BrokenToad, which means that the BrokenToad brushes are officially better than the Citadel ones. But wait, didn't you say that the Citadel ones were better on the thumbnail? In a way, yes. Now, would I recommend these BrokenToad Mk 3s? 100%. They're amazing quality. They don't cost an arm and a leg like some companies do, though they are not the cheapest on the market. They have these beautiful points on them that last so well, and I have painted quite a few minis since recording these tests, and they are still looking brand new. I've used them for different things as well, for washes, pin washes, overwashing, layering, highlighting, tiny little detail, smooth wide areas, and I haven't had a problem with the consistency or the quality of the paint job. And that's using the same techniques that I use with the Citadel brushes as well. So it's not a case of new brush and new techniques. It's a case of I'm still using the same skills, but I'm getting a better result from these brushes. Does that mean that buying better brushes ensures a better paint job? Well, no. It takes years of practice, months even, of solid practice. If you're painting a little bit every day, you get better and better and better. You practice the techniques and you get better at them. And then when it comes to using better brushes, it sort of pays off. So in that respect, I would say Citadel brushes are better if you are starting the hobby from scratch, or learning how to paint and doing different techniques, and they're not as expensive as the premium brushes, which means that if they don't last well, or you destroy them from, you know, various mistakes that you learn to not do, then you can still replace them and not feel too bad. There is a caveat to this though, and that is that Citadel are not the only brand out there to start with. You can get a multitude of cheap brushes from various hobby stores and online stores, even like, you know, your local Poundland or whatever. So if you want to paint stuff quickly and you don't quite mind on the quality side, or if you're not too worried about looking after your brushes and that, I would say go as cheap as possible, because then you can buy packs and packs of the brushes, and it doesn't matter if you destroy them. Like after like painting a batch of models, you can just chuck them away and you won't feel bad about it at all. And that's kind of the best bit about that. But they're also good for just practicing techniques, and once you get better, then you can upgrade to better brushes. So don't think that buying a better brush is going to mean that you're going to get better straight away. You have to put the work in to get better. You have to practice your brush control, practice the techniques, nail them, and then when you get those better brushes, the quality of the brushes will help improve your skills just that little bit more. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you agree that BrokenToad are the best brushes in the world, or do you think that Citadel are better, or do you think another company is better? Let me know in the comments below, and yeah, we can have a chat about it. So don't forget, if you liked this video, hit that subscribe button and the like button, and share it with anyone that you think could benefit from this advice. Also, don't forget that there are plenty of social media links down below where you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook, and there are loads and loads of awesome Facebook groups that I've listed down there too, so go check them out. And if you wish to support the channel, there are many ways to do it. You can buy me a coffee, or you can go on that Streamlabs link and donate straight to me. There are also a Teespring merch store, so you can get yourself one of these fantastic hoodies or a t-shirt or one of these mugs, so go check that out. And finally, if you want to buy yourself some supplies, paints, models, brushes, whatever, hit that link to Element Games where you can get yourself anything between 10 and 20% off pretty much anything. And by hitting that link, I get a little kickback as well at no extra cost to you. So that's a great way of supporting the channel, and we both win. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.